My wife said she was pregnant, but I'm infertile. I played along and uncovered a terrible truth. My name is Alex. I'm 34 years old. I've been married for 6 years. Lisa and I met at work. I'm an engineer, and she worked in the department next door. Composed kid. She never caused drama, always supported me when things got tough. I considered myself incredibly lucky, especially after what happened 3 years ago. It was an ordinary day. I was driving home, slightly tired, and at an intersection, I got hit by a truck. Nothing too serious on the outside. A few broken bones, a concussion. But inside, something went wrong. After 6 months of examinations, the doctors told me I could no longer father children. I remember how long it took me to gather the courage to tell Lisa. I was afraid she'd leave. She had dreams of having children. We talked about it even before we got married. But she listened and just hugged me. I don't need genes. I need you. That night I cried. Probably for the first time in 10 years. I thought she was truly the one. 3 years passed. We built our home, traveled, worked, and then one day, she came home in high spirits, excited, glowing. Alex, I'm pregnant. I froze. What? You heard me. We're having a baby. And she threw herself into my arms, while I just stood there. I couldn't have children. One question thundered in my mind. How's? My first instinct was to say everything. Confront her. Accuse her. But then I felt something else, a strange, icy calm. I decided to play along. To see how far she would go. Find out where our baby really came from. If she was lying, let her carry the lie to the end. And I'd watch. The next day, I bought a GPS tracker and quietly installed it in her car. I know how it sounds, how it makes me look, but I didn't care. Every evening, I checked her routes, matched them with her schedule to the minute. Nothing suspicious. Almost a week, just work, store, home. Then Thursday came, a new address. It didn't mean anything to me. I drove there myself. It was a residential complex. I waited in the car. 10 minutes later, she came out. A man approached her, hugged her, then leaned down and placed his hand on her belly. She smiled. He kissed her forehead. I gripped the steering wheel so hard my fingers turned white. That evening, I acted as usual. She cooked dinner, chatted about her day, then took my hand and placed it on her belly. Did you feel that? I think he kicked. I nearly choked. Guess we've got a little soccer player growing, I said and smiled. She laughed. And I nearly cried. The next day, I ordered a DNA test. I took her hairbrush, a makeup tissue, sent it to the lab. They ran the test, and a week later, I got the result. The child wasn't mine. And not from a donor either. It looked like a cover story. But I knew it was a lie. I asked her directly, "Did you do IVF?" She froze. Stared at me, then tears. "I wanted to surprise you. I thought it would make you happy. Donor? Anonymous. Private clinic. Everything's legal. Is that true?" She didn't answer. I showed her the envelope with the results. This wasn't a donor. This is a real person. I saw him. I know who he is. She turned pale, then covered her face with her hands. "I'm sorry," and left the room. I haven't seen her since. An hour later, I got a message. A photo. A shattered ultrasound. With the words, "I'm sorry." I didn't know what it meant. Did she leave? Lose the baby? Just a dramatic gesture? I called everyone. No one knew anything. Her phone was turned off. A couple of days later, her younger sister called me. She was crying. "You didn't know." She met up with her ex. For almost a year. She said she couldn't tell you, that you wouldn't survive it. I listened and didn't believe it. I thought for years that she was the most honest person I knew. And all this time, she lived a seemingly transparent life. A month has passed. I live alone now. Sometimes I wake up at night, thinking she'll walk into the room any moment. I no longer check trackers, no longer search for her. At some point, everything just broke. But here's what keeps haunting me. What if she really meant well? wanted to make me a father, give me something I could never have, even if it meant lying? Was that betrayal or love? Does it matter if the intent was good, but the path, a lie? I don't know. So here's the question. What hurts more? Betrayal? Or living a lie disguised as love? I don't know. You decide. 6 months after my wife disappeared, I got a letter. From her. And it changed everything. It's been 6 months. Since she left. Since she vanished. I've stopped expecting texts, calls, apologies. But the silence still screams. My friends told me, move on. Let her go. But how do you let go of someone who meant your whole world? Someone you thought you knew better than anyone? I didn't expect closure. Not anymore. But then, yesterday evening, there it was, a plain white envelope, slipped under my door. No stamp. No name. Just my address. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Handwritten. Alex, if you're reading this, then I found the courage. I couldn't say it to your face. I don't deserve to. But you deserve the truth, all of it. Yes, I was seeing someone else. Yes, it was my ex. But it's not the story you think. It didn't start as an affair. It started as a conversation, one I couldn't have with you. After the accident, you changed. You went silent, cold. And I tried. I tried to hold everything together. But one day I broke. And then it spiraled. And then I found out I was pregnant. I panicked. I didn't know whose it was. But I wanted to believe it was yours. I wanted to believe I could give you something beautiful. Even if it was built on a lie. I know how that sounds. I'm not asking for forgiveness. When you showed me the DNA results, I knew it was over. But here's what you don't know. A week after I left, I lost the baby. Not because of an accident. Just naturally. Maybe it was fate. Maybe I wasn't meant to be a mother. Not after what I did. I didn't reach out. I didn't beg. Because I didn't think I deserved to. But I did, and still do, love you. That's never been a lie. I'm not coming back. You deserve better. Someone honest. Someone whole. But if you still want to know who I really am, come Sunday, 7 p.m. Our old park. By the lake. I'll be there. Just once. I sat with that letter in my hand for 20 minutes. Frozen. Would you go? After everything? I did. Sunday, 6:59 p.m. The old park. Leaves. Silence. And then I saw her. Sitting on that bench. The one where we once dreamed about kids. About growing old. She looked the same. And yet completely different. We sat for a while, saying nothing. Then she said, I didn't come to ask. I came to release. But if you can't forgive me, at least try to understand. Thomas, people do awful things. Out of love. I didn't know what to say. And honestly, I still don't. What do you think? Was she a monster? A coward? Or someone desperately trying to give me something I couldn't have? Maybe the real question is, can love ever justify a lie? Or is that just what we tell ourselves? To sleep at night?